Hi, this is David with entry number 959. I'm here in the apartment, and if you hear any noise, there's a bit of construction going on outside, and it's not something I can control, unfortunately. I've just finished my military classes for the second consecutive day. Luckily, I didn't teach the same group of guys, but I did end up teaching a good group of little, I think they're first or second year cadets. Very nice, very kind, and there's only 5 of them compared to the 35 or whatever in the Tuesday or Wednesday classes, so it's not bad. I wanted to talk briefly about mood and personality, or maybe mood versus personality. And I don't think a lot of people really tend to pay attention to kind of the subtleties or the differences between mood and personality. I think for me, maybe technically, the difference is a lot like weather and climate. Where weather is kind of the minute to minute description of temperature and wind and humidity and light and things like this, whereas climate is kind of the yearly or the monthly cycle, or it's a cyclical description. So you could say somewhere has a warm or hot or humid or cold or frigid climate. You could also say warm or hot or cold or frigid or cool weather, but if you're talking about a climate, you're talking about kind of like a sustained kind of replicable amount of data that you can show, whereas weather is kind of a minute to minute kind of description. Personality is like climate, where you can kind of have sustained personality, but mood is a lot more like weather, where it's like minute to minute, second to second. You can have different kinds of mood swings, right? Today has been an interesting day because I got up very early, like way too early today. I think 4:30 a.m. and instead of going back to bed, I decided to shoot up, and there was a mistake. It was a mistake, and I've just been feeling my mood today has just been so terrible, very dark, very pessimistic. Well, more pessimistic than normal. The problem with being a pessimistic kind of identifying person is that on a good day you're pessimistic. On a bad day, you are kind of a black hole of anger and emotions. One thing, I've mentioned it on many previous entries, but one thing I try to be is emotionless, or at least as emotionless as possible. Emotions I recognize and understand to be not weakness, but to be very corrupting. People who tend to think emotionally are not really intelligent people. There's emotional intelligence, of course, but that is different. Emotional people are kind of, to me, they're risk-taking. They might have more fun, but they also have greater chances of failure. And I think what you're doing in your head right now is thinking of people who are exceptions to this rule, but at the end of the day, they are in fact exceptions that prove the rule. So to me, I'm having a very kind of emotional day, and when I have emotional days, I feel bad because to me, as I already said, emotions are akin to are kind of like akin to a kind of, not, I don't want to say weakness, but they are akin to a less than agreeable thing. So everything that I hear, every social interaction I've gone through today, of which I've had many, I am thinking pessimistically and darkly, and in ways that I know are not true, in ways that I know logically are not true, but emotionally I can feel the weight of every interaction. Every word is kind of weighted in a way that is negative, that is kind of from the jump going to be met as failure. And when you're like this, it's fairly dangerous, fairly not good. So, um, you know, I want to be sociable, but I know I'm in this kind of heightened mood that is not good for being sociable. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Anyway, that's about it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye.